municipalities may soon get a lot more authority to go after homeless encampments. That's because the Supreme Court took up a case and heard oral arguments Monday about a policy from the city of Grants Pass in Oregon that had passed a law targeting homeless encampments and imposing fines and jail time for violators of this law. But that law got shut down in the courts, saying that it was unconstitutional and ran afoul of the 8th Amendment and prior Supreme Court precedents on this that basically stipulated that governments can't punish people based on their status, such as the status of being a drug addict or of being homeless. The government can go after people for crimes such as doing drugs illegally, but they can't target that status specifically. But the conservative-led Supreme Court on Monday seemed very skeptical of some of these precedents, and they really grappled over the question of status and where you draw the line on that issue. And it seemed like a lot of the justices were really leaning towards recalibrating here, even though it wasn't entirely clear how much they're going to recalibrate or what the exact metrics of that will look like. There were a lot of tough questions at play during oral arguments. The liberal justices seemed pretty sympathetic to the status quo here, and they were asking tough questions such as, well, where are the homeless people going to go? They don't really have any options, and so if the government is forcing them out of one place, where do they go? And some of the justices, such as Brett Kavanaugh at one point, suggested that maybe it's not the court's place to answer these tough questions. Chief Justice John Roberts made this point as well, or was kind of hinting that they might cede more authority back to states and local governments to wrestle with this very difficult issue. There was a widespread recognition that the Supreme Court isn't going to be the silver bullet here, that the courts aren't really going to solve America's homelessness crisis. So we're expecting a decision from the Supreme Court in June. We should note that the homelessness crisis in America has really exacerbated over recent years. Last year, there was an estimated 650,000 people without a permanent place to live. That's according to the Department of Housing and Urban Development, and it marked a 12% increase from 2022. So this is a massive problem in the country, and it appears to only be getting worse. But the Supreme Court's decision here could significantly change the dynamic because states and local governments may soon have a lot more power to test out different policy approaches to this.